everyone. Hello, my name is Ngozi-Omeje Ezema, and I'm speaking to you from my studio in Nsukka, Eastern Nigeria. So I'm lecturing in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So actually, I want to start with a bit of showing you my work in the studio, but I don't know what's, the weather is dark. So you might not necessarily see the chandelier. So I didn't want the generator to interrupt or make noise in the background. That's why I didn't put on the generator. So I'm going to show you the trajectory of my progress as a ceramics artist. I started, as most of you have seen online, with utilitarian wares, and then moved into more composite forms, and then suspension. So I'm going to just take you through the work and then explain the processes and then how I install them outside my studio. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. So here are my throne pieces, the pitcher with the serving cups. I'm just going to skip through this beginning, and then this work, I titled it Porcupine. I try to explore the texture of porcupine using coils. So I just cut them in bits and form this. It's actually a plate. So, and this one, I try to reflect on my childhood days when I visited my grandmother, because we are many. Sometimes we have to spend our night there, and then there will be not much space for everyone on the bed. So some will lie on the ground using mats, and then the way we share the bed and all that. So it was really a fun time because we don't complain about it, because we actually love to be with cousins and nephews and nieces, all of us playing together during holidays. So it was actually a fun memory that I try to reminisce doing this artwork sleeping arrangement. And then I moved on from making throwing pieces and coiling, using them to produce sculptural pieces or ceramic sculpture, as you might put it. So I moved into composing this mushroom. So the mushroom is a delicacy in my village, in my community. We eat a lot of mushroom when it's in its full season. So I saw the display, the natural display in the environment. I felt like installing it inside, like a mushroom invasion, like mushroom invading the house. So, and then this where I placed it outside the room, and then its natural environment where it's damp. Forgive me, it's raining, might be a little bit noisy. Okay, so that's that. And then I moved to suspension. During my MFA, I started this suspension. And it was a time that I was trying to find clarity within myself, and of who I am, of what I stand to be in the society, especially in my social cultural context, being a female and then an artist and all that, the challenges that surrounds me as a girl child. So I try to look at the garden as my mental imagination, where I have so much to share, so much to give to the society, but I look at the limitation imposed on me on the extent that I can go as a female. So I titled it In My Garden, There Are Many Colors. Just trying to show all the ideas in my head through this garden with the colors, the orchestration of the flip-flops, different colors, and then the terracotta, the rings, the terracotta rings below the flip-flop. So, and then from here, I moved on to this. I expanded the garden in 2016, using it to create an image of an eye, the inner eye looking into what I could do, all the restriction. Now that I'm even married, in 2006, I was already married, but then the restriction seems to be adding as in bigger and bigger, not really reducing. It seems to have so much role that impaired, that serves as impediment upon the ideas that I want to really share with the world through art. So that's what I expanded in 2016, arranging it more clearly and creating the eye in the middle of the garden to project the ideas that I have in my head, what I can only imagine with my inner eyes. So after I made the first garden, I told you I was trying to find clarity within myself. So I started then in my master's degree program. I started reading a lot of pages in the Bible. So I came across the Jonah experience. I was like, Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. So it's actually it's not in his decision to go, but God wanted him to go to Nineveh. And then I felt the same thing. I don't want to not practice. I don't want to just graduate and live my life as just a graduate. I didn't want to get married and then be subjected to pleasing my in-laws, my husband, and sacrificing so much. But it wasn't in my parents' decision. They don't want me to do that. They want me to get married just like other of my siblings that have gotten married. And it's outside my own, I couldn't just go against their will. Even now, it's still difficult to go against their will. But I try to relate it with Imagine Jonah and then the fishers of men. Why do they fish? The pastors in my community, why do they fish? Do they fish actually for God as a fishing man? Or are they fishing for their pockets? So I try to use the technique of fishing to produce this work. The floater, that's the flip-flop, and then the bait, the clay rings, and then the fishes. So I try to relate to it as human beings. Are they actually convincing us to reap out of us, or are they convincing us for the kingdom? So I was actually contemplating that when I did the Fishers of Men, the first one, and then this Imagine Jonah. So after a discussive visit with El Anasio, he told me that I could actually use the flip-flop and configure images that I don't have to let them hanging in space like that I can actually create with them. So I started making images using the flip-flop as the body of the work, and then the suspended clay coils as the base, pulling down the flip-flop that is lighter most time. So this is the Imagine Jonah in the night. I saw the way the light reflected on it. It's actually looking like the fish is in the ocean. So I love the reflection, the way the light played on it. So I took the image that night. So when I finished my MFA, I got this residency in Seattle. So when I went there, I did this first Think See, Think Up there. So the idea was to look at my goal, let the goal carry me, because I was allergic to cold. So I was afraid, how will I be able to live outside my environment? Can I go outside my box? So I kept looking at the goal, what I will gain, what I will achieve, how I will reach to the wider society. And then it encouraged me to actually go on the residency. So the goal now is represented as a cup, think, think cup. When you look at the effort that you're going to make, the what you're going to pay, kind of might not be a sacrifice, but the what you're going to put in, the hard work that you're going to put in. Also look at the cup, the gain, the benefit, what you're going to benefit at the end of the day. The two will carry you forward. That's what I try to relate with this think tea, think cup. The more I think about the tea, then I'll be able to put more effort. And if the tea is not appetizing more, or is not pleasing, or maybe the tea is not equal to the effort that I'm putting in, I think about the future. So I try to marry the two like that. So this is the basal view of the think tea, think cup. And then when I came back, I was still contemplating on the issue of getting married and my practice, how the other one will get in the way, how it will, whether it will limit my progress as an artist, or whether it will encourage me. I don't know. It was really a dilemma that I didn't know how to go about it. And when I mentioned again that I don't want to get married, my mother said, not in my home, not in my home. You can go elsewhere and do that, but not in my home. As long as you're part of this family, you just have to get married. So I just, okay. So, and then I try to discuss this through my art. I try to relate my experience through art, trying to kind of, you would say, go to this sea and scream. So I scream through my art. I try to relieve my pain through making art. So I titled this She Bleeds. I was bleeding inside, but they don't know about that because they could not see me. So see the blood. So that's what I did, trying to create it. She bleeds. And then I moved on to this life on the string. So when I did this work, actually I saw a newspaper, I read on a newspaper where somebody hung himself with a rope. I was like, I was touched. Why would he want to end his life? Not that I don't have that kind of feeling of what you might say suicidal sometimes, but I just try to transfer the energy of feeling suicidal or wanting to commit suicide to art. I transfer the energy to be a source of strength rather than a negative energy that will take my own life. So I try to compare the string that took the man's life and the string that gave life to my work, that is giving life to my work. So I try to compare the two in this life on the string. The other life is giving the other strings are giving life, and then the other string is taking life. So I revisited this Think Tea, Think Up in 2019, trying to put the teapot to inculcate the effort. I see the teapot as the effort being poured in the cup, being poured in, the effort that we pour to achieve a goal. The effort, the cumulative activities, experiences that comes together to form a whole. The achievements, the success. It's not a straight journey. It's not something that that is gotten one day. All the micro effort that has been put together, I try to see them in the teapot as you are pouring the tea. the content you are pouring into the cup. So this to the cup encourages the teapot, and the teapot encourages the teacup. So they actually pouring of more energy and more hard work, more labor to attain a goal. That's what I try to do in 2019, incorporating the teapot together with the teacup. So this is the area view of the teacup. So inside the teacup, I made this target symbol of red, black, white, the target symbol. So the teapot is pouring the content, trying to hit the target. So if you see the target, you see that the red mark here, they are fewer in number than the black and white, which is far from the red bull, the red eye of the bull, as in the head of the target. So people don't know much about this missed targets. They only know about these few ones. They did not know how much you have suffered to get these few red points. So that's what I try to talk about, this target in this target symbol on the cup. So in 2013, I lost my father. He was ill for a while, for a long while, really. But he was ready to give up, but I wasn't, because we are so close together. I grew up by his side, always on his side. While my siblings are outside playing, I'll always be by his feet, just being close to him. We are very close. So when I lost him in 2013, it wasn't something I was ready for, even though I'm already an adult then, but I haven't had enough of him. So, and he told me that he's really not ready to bear the pain anymore. He's ready to give up. And I said, please, can you just stay a little bit more? He said, no, that this is not a way to live. I cannot live any longer. It was sad. I was thinking that he would maybe change his mind and stay a little bit longer. But he never spoke again. He just stopped. He just stopped talking after that moment. So I couldn't comprehend the moment. I couldn't just stop wishing that he could just stay more. So for a long time, I harbored the pain, the trauma of losing him. I don't know how to come around it. And I remember that I overcome through my art. I gain strength through creation. So I now try to connect the yearning, the gap that his death created between us. And then I came up with this idea of making elephant. I made elephant because his mother usually called him Orimeni, the strength of an elephant, that he had the strength of an elephant. So he's someone that will walk from morning till evening without getting tired, from one chore to another. He never got tired. So that's why his mother named him that, Orimeni, the strength of an elephant. So I try to relate that to the emotional feeling that also elephants displays with their heart. And then I thought of another way to relate to the elephant, the tree, the strength, the longevity of the tree, and the longevity of elephant and human, they are similar. So, and then the tenderness, the hardness, which is about the leaf that is tender, and then the hardness, the strength, which is the tree trunk. And then you could know the enormous strength that elephant displays. So I tried to relate the two to my father's strength as well. So I came up with the idea to make just one elephant, this big elephant, and allow the audience to cut it down so that I'll be able to let go of what I treasure, something like separation rights. I love my father so much. I couldn't find it in me to let go. So, and I love creating, I love artwork. And each time I find it difficult to let go as well with my work. So I now said, okay, if I could make this elephant and then allow the audience to cut it down, then they will help me to actually let go the feeling of yearning, of wanting him to be there or here, to be here with me. So I decided to make this piece of work for my solo show. And then the founder of CCA, BCC, unfortunately, she too has passed on. She told me that my father wasn't just existing alone, that he had his family that was left behind to mourn him. So that I should not just make him, but include the other members of the family. So, and I decided to make the number of elephants in my, the number of my family members, that make 8 elephants. Then one of them, this one representing my father, was cut down. So these are the other elephants. Okay. So I made more elephant after making the 8. I was like, we had relatives that came to sympathize with us. So I don't have to just make my family alone. I have to include those relatives, both extended and immediate family members. So I included this to reforming the elephant, working more, because the more I suspend, the more I learn along the way how to go about achieving the desired shape, contour, form, and the rest. So that was that in the elephant series. So I was discussing with my sister about her responsibility as a married woman, because I'm still finding it difficult to play the role as a married woman and then as an artist, how to go about creating them, because I see the 2 roles, teaching, another role, being a mother, an artist. They were all conflicting. The other one is suffering, the other one is suffering, not the time that I desire to put in each that I do. I just keep, put the bit here, put bit there. So I was like asking her, how do you cope? What do you think about this situation that we found ourselves in? And I don't know how, but I just asked her, what do you think is your talent? And she was like, she doesn't know. Oh, I said, you don't know? She said she doesn't know, that all she knows is just attend to her family. I was like, that's surprising, because I wouldn't want to live without exploring my talent as an artist. And you don't know what you have as your talent. So I decided to look at it as a lantern, look at my sister and several other women as lanterns that are not being lit, that their lights are not showing, because they don't even know their talent. They have not discovered their talent apart from the basic role that the society expected from them, which is just to attend to their family, and that's all. Oh, then I made this lantern, light up the lamp, that you should discover, look inside and discover what is truly your talent and light it up, so that the world will see through you, so that you reach out the world through your talent, not just that you're kind of self-centered, your family alone. So that's the side view of the lantern. And then after the lantern, I started making miniature verses, because I find out that my works are sometimes very bulky, that people would want to have it, but they don't have the space. And then I thought of how to make miniature works in a round. Then I will make larger ones using the same strategy. So that's how I came up with this. My intention is that after exploring these miniature vases, I could actually make vases larger than life size, up to 16 feet high and maybe 10 feet wide. So, but from this experience done in these miniature vases, I could transfer it to the bigger sizes. So these are another vessel. Come on. Okay, so I made a cup, another cup, just trying on the learning through practice how to make more, and both big, small. You could notice that these cups, as I continue to call them my goal, if you look at the cup clearly, you see that they are made up of tiny cups. So actually, I'm referring to these tiny cups as the micro efforts, the effort given in to pursue a goal or to achieve a goal, a desired end. So these tiny cups represent those efforts. No matter how little they are, they came together to form this cup. Without each one, this cup wouldn't be. So I'm going to share with you how the production process is, and then how I install them outside my studio. Because most time, all of the works I have taken outside my studio, going to China, South Korea, they were all made here in my studio, but they were taken there and were able to reinstall them. And that's what inspired me mostly to make a mobile work, a work that I can create even larger than life size here in my studio, and it can be taken anywhere in the world. And there it will be reinstalled and the work will come back to life just like it was at just like it was in my studio the first time that it was installed. So nothing changes. So this is the way it goes. I bag them in bunches, wrap them up, and when I take them to the venue, I attach the filament, the marine rope here on the structure that is provided there at the venue, and then it will drop like this. This is the bags, the bags of each bunch of the installation. And when it's open up, you see it this way. So this is actually the garden tied up, now fully suspended. And when it's open up, you see the garden like this. And this is the sketch that I made for the elephant. You could see from the sketch that I wanted to build it with the tree trunk attached to, suspended as well with the leaf. So during the production processes, maybe because the tree trunk were fired below 1,000, when I tried lifting them, they were cracking in my hands. So I didn't want to use them at the moment. I'm going to refire them about 1,200 and then be able to suspend it, combining the leaf as I continue to increase the number of the heart. So these are the clay trunks that I pressed out from the tree trunks that the wood vendors selling in front of my house where they pack their logs. I went there to press out this impression, cast them with POP, and then we're able to cast out these logs, these clay logs now. So before, when I started installation, it was mostly addictive, suppression and addiction. When you put the other line there, if it's not fitting, I remove it. I tried making drawing, kind of sketching in the air, or in the space, not in the air, sketching in the space. So I try to form the mid frame and then fill up the other side to make it more three-dimensional. Because the first time I made the first fish was two-dimensional. It has the front and the back. But after that experience, I progressed to make it three-dimensional. That was the one I remade in 2016 for the Helen Biennale in China, the first ceramics Biennale in China. So the fish that I exhibited there were more three-dimensional than the first one that I made in 2008. So this is the first elephant. So I was sketching in the air, and then I continued to build in, remove where it's not fitting, where it's not conforming with the figure that I want to create, I remove. So it's more of addictive, subtractive and addictive method here. And then, so this is the first elephant. And then this is the installation view at CCA in Lagos. So after they were all suspended, we removed the bags, and then they're falling to this. This is the heart. So after that that style of production, it was really difficult and tedious to follow. It takes a lot of time, and then not very accurate with the form, the proportion. So I started sketching. I will make drawings on the brown paper. I could see from the mid frame of this side of the elephant. I made the sketch, and then I follow the sketch. I'll make the outline and then fill in like your shading the remaining side that is not really represented on the sketches. So this is the front, the head of the elephant. You could see the sketches from here. So that's the elephant now that you saw the sketch. So this is the cup, the production process of the cup. You could see the first drawing of the saucer, and I didn't want to get to the height because it was like becoming two cups, and then I changed the drawing. I just made another lower mark on the drawing. What happened? So I made another lower mark to bring to flay the saucer more than it would have been before. And that's the top. The sketch, you could see it, and then the tea drop, the splash from the tea, you could see it there. And that's the cup when I have removed the sketch. When I remove the sketch, all I do is to repeat what I have done on this side of the work on the other side. And that's the cup and the teapot. So when I came back from South Korea, because I usually work with marine rope, I use the polyfilament for the top frame, which I normally just fold up, which is easier. But when I went there to suspend it, they couldn't help me to suspend it before my arrival because they don't know how to go about it. So they were like, how do they go about that? That is more of tedious or cumbersome for them. So I came back and I decided to change the marine rope to this acrylic glass. So if you look on the acrylic glass, you could see the drawings, the rings that actually I made on them before before perforating them. So after the perforation, I'll fill in the monofilament and then stretching them out. You can see it's stretching out now. And then I divide it in the mid frame with the sketch. So when I insert the sketch at the mid frame of this acrylic, then I suspend the half and then complete the other half when I have removed the sketch. So that's the work. You can see the film, the acrylic glass on top. Now, no longer the polyfilament. So this is the production process of the lantern. You could see it clearly, the drawing and then the filling in. When I'm done with making the outlines, I fill in with the leaves, and then you see it coming together, closing up until it comes. So this is where I suspended it outside. I wanted to take an image of it because my studio is not yet totally finished. So snapping inside is difficult. So I took it outside. It was kind of nightmarish because I was so scared what I would do with the wind blowing and then the work clinging and tangling and all that. But it was like, it wasn't as I anticipated. It wasn't difficult. So, so that's that. Thank you.